the Final Four goes through Long Island, New York, and Nassau Coliseum, and the evening session here in first round action in the East as we get set for the 6th-seeded Nebraska Cornhuskers taking on the 11th seed, the Quakers of Pennsylvania. Earlier today, it was Connecticut advancing over Rider, George Washington eking by UAB. And good evening, everyone. I'm James Brown along with Billy Packer. And Billy, an outstanding matchup of the Big 8 tournament champion Nebraska and the best in the Ivy League, Pennsylvania. How do you see this matchup?
Well, JB, two teams coming in a different fashion. With winning that Big 8 conference championship, first ever for Nebraska, they have to be emotionally spent. And that's something that I'm sure Danny Nee has to guard against. In the case of Penn, they have not played in a while. They may be tournament rusty. So two contrasts here. I'm anxious to see what comes out on the floor early on in this ball game.
Tournament rusty maybe, but a good matchup nonetheless. And we'll be back here to Nassau Coliseum with the starting lineups after this.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the first round of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored by the new Geo Prism, new Ice Brewed Ice Draft, and by Nike.
Back inside of the sold-out Nassau Coliseum as we take a look at the starting lineups. And Billy, neither team with a dominating man on the inside, but strong perimeter games.
And both of these teams, of course, have played some fine outside competition. Pennsylvania, people talk about an Ivy League school, but they have played outstanding competition outside their own league. They've been on the road, some very strong contests, which we'll talk about as this game moves on. So they will not be in awe of playing against a Big 8 team. And for Nebraska, again, I wonder about the emotional high coming off just last Sunday, winning the first conference championship ever for Nebraska. It's tough sometimes to get back down to earth and then set your sights on what's really the task at hand, which is to get on a roll all over again.
The Quakers of Pennsylvania, the best in the Ivy League, won 29 straight Ivy League games. The officials, Larry Rose, Richard Cartmel, and Charles Tanner. Underway, and it should go to Pennsylvania.
You saw Chubik get up. He's got a 32-inch vertical leap, so quick off the floor.
An outstanding backcourt combination for the Quakers. Matt Maloney, who is handling the ball now, and Jerome Allen with the ball now.
Boone on Allen, tough man-to-man. Allen, two-time Ivy League Player of the Year. Open offense, more down the low post with Chubik. Nice distribution of points on both of these basketball teams, so it's not that one man must be stopped.
Jerome Allen using his quickness to get by Terrence Badgett, who picks up his first personal for Nebraska.
Solid screen on the outside there, JB, and of course you're going to get that kind of switch. You get a little bit of a mismatch. Badgett not going to be strong enough from a standpoint of quickness to handle Jerome Allen. Piatkowski beat Pierce to the spot, cut him off. Nice job defensively.
A lot of patience on the offensive end being displayed by Pennsylvania. And it stays at this end. Billy, impressive stat there. The best one-loss percentage in all of America.
Come in 24-2, tap right over to Pierce.
Barry Pierce, third leading scorer for the Quakers at 13 a game, puts the Quakers on top by 2.
That's the third inbounds pass we've seen today, JB, for direct baskets and an out-of-bounds play.
Eric Piatkowski, shot the leading scorer for the Huskers, off the mark. This is Maloney. Pierce.
Pierce, a senior. This is still a very young Penn team. You mentioned 29 straight Ivy League games in a row they've won. 30 is the record in the league. They'll mostly be back.
Jerome Boone. Nice drive to the basket. Second leading scorer for the Huskers.
All Big 8 tourney. Sophomore is going to be outstanding.
Maloney for three. Rebounded by Trice. Here come the Quakers. Well, Billy, you made the point in the open. The Quakers are not in over the back. It will go against Nebraska's Chubik.
Well, they went on the road at Southern Cal, at Washington, at Oklahoma State, of course, at Temple, and they only have 2 losses on the year. So they toughened up outside the league, plus playing in the Big 5.
Which is tough enough.
That's right. Zone out of bounds, matching up.
Pierce. Johnson with the rebound. Ahead to Piatkowski. In the NBA, it would count, but not here at the collegiate level.
I'll tell you, I'm not so sure that shouldn't have counted, but I think it shocked the referee, JB, and the fact that it was such an incredibly good shot. Now watch him. Let's see if he's in his motion by the contact. Nah, I'd go along with the referee in that one.
Okay.
Yep, he hit him before he really got the stroke started.
They would have given it to him definitely at the next level.
Oh, yeah. Great concentration.
And the folks at the next level like it a lot. Steal by Pierce.
Telegraph that pass.
Pierce fouled and scores.
Now you think of Penn as being a half-court oriented team. They took advantage of the steal and got on the break. It's a weak pass cross court, very dangerous against that particular zone. Maloney spreads it out nicely, a 2-on-1 break, perfectly executed.
For those who know Pennsylvania well, no surprise for many others, it's accurate, a 9-2 lead in the early going by the Quakers. Make it 10-2.
This team lost last year in the NCAA tournament, 54-50 to Massachusetts in the opening round, but had no seniors on it. So you're looking at a club made up, every one of these guys started last year.
Trice with the strong rebound after a good block out. Jerome Allen, sweet move, and nails it for the three.
Beyond sweet. Now if you're Danny Nee, you're thinking about waiting for a TV timeout, but the way Penn has come out here and they've got the crowd in their favor, I think you got to think about calling a timeout to settle this down.
And a strong rebound by Penn, but a foul called before. I tell you what, the first few minutes of this ball game, Pennsylvania looks absolutely awesome.
But JB, we talked about Rusty. There's the first big upset of the day, being Wisconsin-Green Bay, a club that plays the Princeton style. Very difficult for an up-tempo paced club like California to face them. Get their mind set, they're out of here.
Jason Kidd, Lamont Murray out of the tournament. Chubik in the middle. Can't get the roll, the tap in good to Badgett.
Well, Nebraska, when they were not playing well, was primarily a three-point shooting team. They now are more successful by going inside. Nice give and go.
Maloney, nice look by Matt Maloney. Scored on the inside to Moore. And it stays at this end. Pennsylvania 6 of 8 from the field, 75% shooting here in the early going, and lead it 15-4. As Nebraska goes to the bench quickly, Eric Strickland in along with Tom Best, replacing Boone and Chubik.
Getting good shots and looking like they have quick legs. You know, we talked about being rusty. They're not at all.
Badgett, little hook in the lane. Terrence Badgett using his nice size to advantage.
Allen's got some real quickness off that dribble.
Maloney.
That's the first tough shot that Penn has taken tonight.
15-6, Quakers on top. Nice pass inside to Best. Blocked and is fouled. The foul goes against Eric Moore. Good look on the inside.
We're seeing an excellent pass right here. Gunned it right on down through the lane. Of course, Strickland, a young man that plays professional baseball, the first guy ever at Nebraska to sign a baseball contract by still being on the basketball team, and showed that he's got a shotgun for an arm there.
Tom Best drops in the first, a 65% free throw shooter on the season, and the words used to describe his play, steady and solid. And we've got a break in the action, a TV timeout. Pennsylvania on top by the score of 15-8.
Well, JB, some conferences as well as teams off to a big start. There's 3 leagues with 2 teams already moving forward. The Great Midwest lost 2 teams early on. There's our first big upset, a 12 beating a 5 Wisconsin Green Bay. And Joe Smith, who in his very first game against Georgetown this year set a new Maryland record for an opening game for a freshman, then set a freshman scoring record, made player of the year, freshman of the year in the ACC, and first team all-conference. So nothing unusual to see him have a big game.
A legitimate big-time player.
Here's a 2-3 zone now by Nebraska. Kegler,
Allen for 3, short.
and with Kegler in the game, JB, it gives another perimeter shooter to Penn. Excellent outside shooter.
Kegler being Scott Kegler. This is Strickland, a lefty, missing the 3, rebounded strong by Sean Price. He's got 3, averages 7 rebounds.
There it is.
There's Kegler, as you mentioned. 3-point play off the front of the rim. Badgett with the rebound, out to Strickland. Badgett free. Key. Rebound and nice drive by Badgett.
Moved it over to the right hand. That's 3 big field goals by Badgett here. A tap in and 2 putbacks.
Badgett averages 8 a game. He's got 6. And it's a 15-10 Penn lead.
Great matchup athletically with Strickland out here on Allen. Oh, what a switch by Strickland.
Moore looks at the basket but loses the ball. Piatkowski over to Strickland. Allen with the rebound.
They had a 3-on-2 break. You got to get a better shot than that.
Could have taken it in.
Yeah, I think that Piatkowski should have taken it right onto the hoop.
Allen double clutches and is fouled. Jerome Allen, you've already commented about his quickness, Billy. He dropped in 27 points, the most by an opponent this season against Temple.
I like the way he explodes to the basket. Reminds me a little bit of Eddie Jones, the way he explodes, talking about Temple right there. Not quite the same size, but off that dribble really can move. Chubik in, Badgett out. Solid minutes.
Missing the first is Allen, an 81% free throw shooter on the season.
Now Penn shoots 72% as a team. Just think, talk about free throw shooting. Maloney this year in the Ivy League was 36 for 36. Didn't miss a free throw the entire conference season.
Boone and Chubik back in for Nebraska in white. Tim Krug in for Pennsylvania.
Nice double team.
Traveling violation, 16-10. Pennsylvania on top, 14-01. Left in the first half of play. It's a 6 seed. Nebraska trailing the 12. Make that the 11 seed. Pennsylvania.
Trice kind of a quiet man out there. Solid rebounds. A little bit too high.
Allen would really have to have sprung to get that one. And Kegler nailing the 3.
Well, you've got Allen out there, Maloney and Kegler. 3 excellent perimeter shooters. And now Penn goes to the 2-1-2 zone. Krug now in there playing in the middle. Piatkowski, they've got to be aware of. He's got great range on his 3.
Rebounded by Krug. Krug at 6'9" on the board.
Oklahoma switches back to man-to-man.
Nice pass by Maloney. Little chase of overpassing there. Trice could have taken it. Strickland does. Oh!
There's some we talked about his explosiveness. The player of the year in Nebraska in high school in football, basketball, and baseball.
And he's actually a starter who comes off the bench.
Yeah, you can't call him a non-starter. Here he comes again. Really giving a lift to Strickland.
Boom, tap back to Piatkowski. Charging foul on Eric Piatkowski. First personal on Piatkowski, who leads the team in scoring but has yet to score in the ball game.
We have to think of Boone's decision-making process right here. You know, he was better off catching the ball. He put Piatkowski in a position where there was nothing he could do but charge.
And also give a lot of credit to Matt Maloney. who reacted properly to the tip-off pass.
Of course, Maloney, we talked about Temple. His dad, the assistant coach under John Chaney at Temple for many years. One of the real good minds in college basketball.
No doubt about it. And Matt plays like a coach's son. Through short, had the shot partially tipped. It will stay Penn basketball. 12:21 left in the first half of play. A 7-point lead by the Quakers.
Well, Andy Barada came down the lane that time, just kept the ball alive by shocking it.
Melvin Brooks in for the Cornhuskers, replacing Tom Best.
Best at a very solid Big 8 tournament, hasn't gotten started here tonight.
Maloney way off the mark. Hasn't been near the accurate range the last 3 shots. Strickland throws it away.
Kelly was grabbed on the arm. Good hustle back by Penn. That was a fast break. You know, Nebraska's getting a lot of chances for fast breaks. They just can't get them to go.
Kegler loses the handle on the Jerome Allen pass. Timeout, TV timeout. 1912, Pennsylvania. Groups of interest on the University of Pennsylvania. Obviously, prestigious Ivy League school. Some outstanding graduates. Billy Packer, can you think of the most famous?
Is there anybody that's not outstanding that graduated from Penn? Because that's coming from a Harvard man.
And I'm sure quite a few of the folks here
it's like me
in attendance will say that.
There's some outstanding graduates from Harvard. Come on, JB.
Does the basket count? Chubik gets the drop and is fouled, so he's got an attempt on an old-fashioned three-point play. Nice, strong move on the inside, Billy.
It really was, and one of the things that we saw early was the fact that Nebraska has not been able to convert. Great hands by Chubik, because on the way up the ball was knocked out of his hands, but right now Penn's got the advantage on the break, which is surprising to me. 9 points to 2, and something Nebraska should really have an advantage on. They haven't executed the break. Here's a little about three-quarter court trap. Take it into a half court and convert.
Strickland. I think that was rather nasty, Billy.
I said he was the outstanding athlete from the state of Nebraska. That showed something there.
He jumped back to Nebraska on that one. And a foul by an overexcited Strickland, but take a look at why he is excited.
Now, this was a smart play, too. See, he looked back. He knows Allen is a heck of a leaper as well. So he looks back at Allen. Watch him right here. Said, oh, I see him. There's only one thing to do, shield him with my body. Smart play.
And look at the hang time.
1-3-1, half-court trap. Boone running the baseline. Matching up out of this. There comes Boone. Got screen.
Taylor off the mark. Strong rebound by Piatkowski. Billy, I'm impressed with Piatkowski not trying to force the action. And what a good-looking move as he gets his first basket of the game at the 10:50 mark of the first half.
Beautiful drive, because I really think he was looking for the pass on that play.
Good hang time there. And the near steal.
You know, it looks like Nebraska's turned it up a notch with Strickland coming into the game. Allen. They have. They're just a lot quicker right now.
Boone trying to force it. That would have been a tough pass to Chubik. Purdue in action, the big dog leading the way there. California falling to Wisconsin, Green Bay. Boy.
Remember the great run California made last year to knock Duke out of the running for another opportunity to go back to the Final Four.
Take a look at Melvin Brooks. Nebraska turning it up a notch, 47% from the field. Pennsylvania with 9 fast break points, as you mentioned, Billy. A little surprising, as Nebraska, the higher scoring on the season, averaging 87 a game.
I think Nebraska will start to convert some of those. Great steal by Maloney.
Good pass by Maloney. Nice. Allen.
Beautiful shot.
Talk about fingertip control, but Matt Maloney also nice credit given on the pass. And that stopped a 9-zip run by Nebraska.
Hey, this Allen is quick. Here's that steal by Maloney. He actually got the dribble off his shoulder. And then here's the beautiful play by Allen, because Strickland came in there and he was able to get it off.
Chubik, brick. Fresh 35, back out front, Jamar Johnson.
two very good basketball teams here.
Good action thus far. Piatkowski deep in the corner. The guy has excellent range.
But you're not going to make many of those fading away in the deep corner. He's got to go towards that hoop.
And that's a good coach's comment there. You're right. Kegler for three.
Kegler's excellent three-point shooter. That's the second wide open look that he's had in the three-point range. I hadn't buried either one of them.
Jerome Allen will get a breather as Barry Pierce comes in to replace him.
Kegler on the year shooting 45%, JB, from three-point range. So that's one you're supposed to hit.
And he's 1 of 4 from three-point range today. No 2 points yet. No 2-point shot. Boom.
On the arm.
Foul. Yep. Kegler got him. Well, I was trying to set you up and ask if, in fact, you knew who the most famous alum, Ben Franklin, the forefather, and, of course, Candace Bergen, a.k.a. Murphy Brown.
Do you figure that, what kind of jump shot do you think Ben had? I bet you he jumped when that lightning came down on that kite. That might have been the first jump shot in Penn history.
Probably had more than a 40-inch vertical jump.
We're thinking along the same line.
Oh, gosh. And, you know, we've got some creative guys working with us who said the shot was definitely from the top of the key. 21-20 ball game.
Well, he still overlooks the city, but sitting on top of the monument of his own building.
Penn on top. Strong move to the glass, and the left-handed shot drops for Eric Moore, his 4th point.
Really the first low-post move that Penn's had all night.
As Eric Moore had not been looking aggressively at the basket up until that point. Jerome Allen did not sit for long as he's back into the lineup for the Quakers, replacing Scott Kegler. Maloney and Allen back in the backcourt. Moore in the middle.
Dangerous pass. But that far, you know, look at the score of the game. That's not the kind of pass you need at this time in the game.
A long one by Moore, and he will tell you he called that shot off the backboard.
He turned and started laughing. Looked at Allen on the way down the court and said, yeah.
But it's a 6-point lead by the Quakers. 8:32 left and a half to play.
Back in the 2-3 zone.
And the offensive charge assessed to Melvin Brooks. Billy, these kind of shots we called on the playground.
Oh, yeah. Yep, right from the top of the key. Look at the smile. Yep, and Allen walks on by.
Johnson, Strickland, Best. Jerron Boone and Badge at the 5 in white for Nebraska.
At the pace this game's played, the benches will have to be used.
Nice pass by Pierce. And the follow is good by Eric Moore. Super pass by Pierce. Kick by Allen. 28-20, Quakers.
Well, there's Moore, who shows you he can hit the 3, and then he turns around and gets the good tap in on the great pass by Pierce. Look at the double team off this 2-3 zone.
Perfect pass to be stolen. The skip pass. Baited nicely by the Quakers. Timeout. Back with more after this.
NCAA Basketball Championship on CBS.
16,000 plus on hand at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum for this first round action between Nebraska and Pennsylvania. And Pennsylvania leading it, and an outstanding job by that man there, Fran Dunphy, a 1970 graduate of Nassau, and he was one whale of a ball player on a good team himself.
He really was. 23-1 as a junior, played with Kenny Durrett, the coach, Hall of Famer Tom Gola, who also was one of Philadelphia's greatest all-time players.
Bernard Williams.
Oh, yeah. Tremendous.
Nice squad indeed. Good rebound by Nebraska.
Gola at LaSalle led LaSalle to the national championship in '54 and then lost to Bill Russell's incredible team at San Francisco as a senior.
Second personal foul on Tom Best, and it will head the other way. 8th team foul on Nebraska, 1-on-1 situation for Pennsylvania. As a matter of fact, Fatty Taylor also played with him. And look at the improvement that the Quakers have made under the leadership of Fran Dunphy. He knows his stuff. He drops in the first. Billy, that is simply remarkable. 9-17 as recent as 91, 24-2. One of only 3 Ivy League coaches to go undefeated in Ivy League play.
That's right. Dick Carter and Petey Carell. Petey, of course, doing it numerous years at Princeton, 69, 76, 91.
Johnson, Strickland, Boone on the perimeter, Badgett, and Best down low for Nebraska and White.
And you see the right now playing a 2-3 matchup zone and trapping in the corners. Strickland.
Rebounded by Allen. Strong rebound by Allen. He's got only 2, but good-looking ones.
Nebraska has not yet scored from the perimeter. Their game is strictly down inside, backcourt.
And these two, Maloney and Allen, normally know each other so extremely well. One of the few mistakes you'll see them make as a pair. And there's Danny Nee. Danny Nee, good basketball background as well. Played with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in high school.
Howard Memorial in New York. And then, of course, everything he learned there, he then went to Marquette under Al McGuire and lost. And then he went into the service, served in Vietnam, and that's how he got it back, you know.
Couldn't help Al McGuire learn anymore, huh?
No.
And a turnover. A turnover by Nebraska in the last 8 minutes. The Huskers trail by 10. And Billy, you talked about maybe being on too much of an emotional high coming off of the Big 8 tournament victory, and Pennsylvania just really catching them strong.
Well, I think it's amazing how quick.
Nice pass by Moore to Pierce.
How quick they are, and there is no rust in their game, and that's what I was worried about for their sake, because they hadn't played in a while.
And Best cuts back into what was the biggest lead of the ball game for the Quakers.
Really the first perimeter shot of the game.
You know, I had a chance to talk with Matt Maloney's dad a couple of weeks ago at Temple, and you're right, he is a wealth of knowledge, and if half of it has been transferred to this young man, that explains why he's so good as well.
Moore picked up his dribble too early, got bailed out.
Rebounded strong by Strickland. Boy, Strickland is some kind of player.
He really is. I mean, they list him at 6'3". He's not quite that tall, but he plays as big as he needs to.
Maloney. Nice pass. Scores and is fouled. And the reason the crowd is cheering, Pennsylvania has played absolutely superb basketball here in the first half. 13 fast break points by the Quakers to only 4 for Nebraska, and it's a 32-24 Pennsylvania lead. And those who may have been surprised, Billy, certainly have to be among the Nebraska faithful.
Well, there's Eric Moore. He has made a tap-in. He's made a three-pointer at the top, and there he gets in and fills in on the break. Everybody has contributed for this Penn club. He's 5 for 6, 11 points, 2 rebounds in this half. Great anticipation.
Ahead to Pierce. Score.
Sensational catch. Penn has their legs. They are just out-quicking them and out-thinking them at this point.
Pierce has 13 points, and that's what he averages on a season. He's done that here in the first half. 4:45 left in the half.
You notice Nebraska playing at a frenetic pace right now. They got to settle down, get relaxed, and get back into a little half-court set.
Piatkowski with the tip in. Nice job by the 6'7" guard who plays guard and forward. Only his 4th point of the game, and he averages 21. We've mentioned that Pennsylvania went undefeated in Ivy League play. And a big reason was that man there. Smart draw of the foul by Matt Maloney. Waited for the contact.
You know, JB, one of the things that's tough, too, about this team, when the clock goes down, they can put it in the hands of a lot of people. You know, Allen can take it to the hoop where the clock goes down. Maloney takes it there. Pierce takes it there as well. So it's very difficult to get this club on the defensive, even if the clock's working against them.
Scott Kegler, number 22, is checked in for Penn, replacing Barry Pierce.
And as I pointed out, their 2 losses came from games on the road at Temple, where they lost 65-76, and at Ohio State, 80-83.
1 of 2 from the free throw line for Maloney, and Maloney will get a breather as Donald Moxley comes in to replace him. Maloney, 4 points, 6 assists, masterful job as a playmaker. Jamar Johnson bringing it up for the Cornhuskers, being defended by Moxley. Piatkowski.
Tough shot. Faded away to the corner.
He's got some very nice tools.
Yes, he does.
6 points right now. 3:48 left in a half.
With Moxley in the game, Allen moves back and brings it up.
Moxley, a sophomore, coaching staff very high on the talent that he possesses. Allen getting by Strickland, short, followed nicely by Eric Moore, the 6'6" player who plays in the middle, has dropped in 13 first-half points.
His high is this year is 19 against Lehigh.
Badgett from the corner, bangs it.
Solid first half by Badgett.
8 points for Badgett. He averages 8.
You really see Nebraska having to put the ball down inside a little bit more against this team. They thought they could blow them out with speed and quickness on the break, but it's just not happening. I think Penn surprised them in that regard.
Trice. Moore. Strong rebound by Chubik, team leading rebounder. Chubik. Oh.
Johnson got lucky on that pass, though, JB. He made a reverse, and he was just very fortunate the defense didn't pick it off. You'll see it right here. Watch. He makes the reverse. He knows somebody there, and it just so happened. You know who made that play? Badgett. By being in the way, he screened out the defender.
How about that?
Right. He screened out the defender. You see it right here. There's Badgett, and the defender just couldn't get over there.
Badgett thought he was in the way, but properly so that time. Yep. Chubik, 5 points. Only 1 rebound, but I mentioned he leads the team in rebounding with 7 as Matt Maloney comes back in for the Quakers, replacing Scott Kegler.
Chubik, 2-time Nebraska High School Player of the Year, redshirted his first year, as did Piatkowski.
And we've got a break in the action. 8-point ball game. Quakers on top. 24,000 strong, University of Nebraska, and we saw where Johnny Carson listed as maybe the most prominent graduate. I'm surprised they didn't have Tom Rathman listed there. The San Francisco 49ers.
Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
You're gonna in the same breath? Come on.
Well, no, actually I took a pause.
Oh, okay. Come on.
2:30.
Legends of America.
Without a doubt. More. Rathman may have gotten a kick out of it.
Oh, okay.
39-31, Pennsylvania.
And here comes that half-court 1-3-1, trying to trap out of it a little bit.
Pierce double clutches and scores. An adjustment in midair.
And you're surrounding it with 3 guards that are so intelligent. Allen, Pierce, and Maloney. I mean, they see the defense.
Allen, good move, a nice shake and bake, and score it.
And that was by Strickland. I guarantee you Strickland will have some respect for him after that one.
Billy, that was a big-time move.
Without question.
Set him up nicely.
Well, we said 2-time, and the first time in the history of the Ivy League, a sophomore and junior year, player of the year.
Now, I know Clark Kellogg would have a very up-to-date expression for that, but we'll say that Allen helped him to leave his shoestrings on the floor on that one. That was an excellent move.
Look, Strickland's out there with him again. And the great player and competitor he is, he's going to want to get back in there and have another shot at it.
Maloney. Nailed it. And Maloney for 3.
And it almost was a 4-point play because he got fouled after it.
Well, it's a 46-31 Quaker lead. 1:05 left in a half. And Nebraska is wondering what hit them.
Well, and the change of defenses is taking them out of a pattern to get back into this game as well. You know, I thought about maybe they could start pounding inside, but by going to this zone, what Penn's forcing him to do is to play on the perimeter.
And Badgett is fouled on the inside by Andy Barada. Larry Rose and company quickly in there to make certain things don't escalate.
You know, we talked about Penn coming into this tournament with the best record. They did even better than that back in 1971. They came into the tournament 28-0. And they got to 28-0 and finally lost. That was an incredible ball club back in '71, coached by Dick Harder. Guys like Hankinson and Dave Wall, Cokie Calhoun, Bob Morse, Steve Bilski.
And Steve Bilski is returning to his school.
Exactly. And they lost in one of the, when I say upsets, because of the score in that game, they lost to Villanova 47-90. Villanova went on to, of course, to the Final Four. But that was one of the great all-time Ivy League teams.
34 seconds left in a half. 46-32. Penn.
And Danny Nee's going to take his club in at halftime and just have to reevaluate coming off of that incredible conference tournament championship last Sunday. They've run into a buzzsaw here.
Well, he will have a lot of elements to reassess. Good defense by Boone that time as he read the move of Jerome Allen.
Now Boone's got good quickness, has enough size. Even if Allen beats him, he might be able to catch up.
Boone, of course, the son of former NBAer Ron Boone, now analyst with the Utah Jazz and Hot Rod Hundley.
He's taken the place of our Jim Nance.
Jim Nance,
He used to be the analyst for Hot Rod. Neither one gets to say much, I guess, around Hot Rod.
Piatkowski hasn't said too much from a point standpoint in the first half, but he has 8.
Pretty big turnover by Allen there at the end of the half, but that's about the only thing Penn did wrong.
Pennsylvania never trailed during the first half and lead it here 46-34.
Exclusive coverage of the first round of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored by Domino's Pizza, Moen Faucets, and by Reebok.
All right, welcome back on St. Patrick's Day, and Penn leads by 12 at the half, and Purdue up 13 over Central Florida. But right here's now that the 12 has beaten the 5 in the West. Penn leads at the half on the Pennzoil at the half. Thanks for being with us. We'll be here all night. Second half's coming up next.
Pennzoil at the half was sponsored by Pennzoil, the motor oil you can rely on for performance, protection, and quality.
The Quakers of Pennsylvania never trailed in the first half and lead it by 12, 46-34. JV along with Billy Packer. And Billy, I tell you, Pennsylvania has done it everywhere. Inside, outside, you name it, they've done it.
Great shot selection, tremendous quickness. We talked about game rust coming in here, but without question, they were primed for this basketball game and are playing extremely well. Nebraska knows that they're going to have to play some kind of basketball game in the second half, not only to win, but just to get back into this thing. JB, when we talk about the shooting from the shot chart, take a look at this. Nebraska two-point shooting, 14 for 21, which is incredible. But then look at what happens when all of a sudden they get outside the perimeter. They are 0 for 10. They are now down 15 points from the three-point line. Because in the case of Penn, Penn has made 5 of 14. So there you go. That's the story of the game.
And as far as Penn is concerned, big contributions by 2 guys, Barry Pierce and Eric Moore, who averaged 21 per game on the season. They have 28 combined in the first half.
Nice dish.
Chubik, strong move on the inside.
Badgett playing a solid game so far today for Nebraska. Good look on the inside, attacking that zone. And they come out man-to-man. Badgett again. We talk about him, JB, not only the scoring, solid game, nice hit.
And Barry Pierce is going to be called for the foul. Good hustling foul nonetheless. Third personal foul on Pierce.
Well, here's a situation where an Ivy League team, last one in the NCAA tournament back in 1984, Well, let me point out something to counter that. Nebraska has never won an NCAA tournament game. They're 0 for 4.
And don't tell me that isn't playing with their minds as well.
Well, you go back to all those years in the Big 8 when they never won the championship and only one team from a conference came into the NCAA tournament. You can see why they've had so few shots. Danny Nee now with 4 straight years coming into the NCAA tournament.
Allen, Maloney, Pierce, Trice, and Moore, the 5 in the Cardinal red for Pennsylvania.
Boone on Allen. Boone has quickness to match up with him.
Tough shot by Pierce. Strong rebound, and the possession arrow stays at this end. Good hustle by Trice.
Trice hasn't had much offensive move tonight because he hadn't had to touch the ball that much, but good solid play on the inside. Chubik had that rebound.
And that's the point that I was going to make, though. Chubik had it. Trice went in and tied him up. Moore.
Nice interior passing.
Pierce stayed with it.
Pierce quick off his feet.
17 points for Pierce. Chubik with authority.
Now, we talked about that vertical leap. 32-inch vertical leap, took all that body with him.
And that's 232 pounds of body.
Switch, Allen senses it, goes by.
Chubik playing on both ends well. Piatkowski. Back to Piatkowski. Loose ball controlled by Trice.
I think he expected a little bit more body contact on JB. You know, he was looking for contact. Took away his touch.
Which he's accustomed to in the Big 8. Chubik again on the boards. 4 rebounds for Chubik.
Nebraska looking to break out. Here's Badgett, who's given them the big game so far, but nobody underneath.
Allen with his 4th rebound.
Both teams settling down a little bit. Nebraska came out so strong.
Way off the mark.
Now, if you're Fran Dunphy, you don't like what you're seeing here at the start of the second half. The club, you know, maybe went in at halftime, feel like, hey, this game is over. We can take this club. Not concentrating the way they were in the first half of the ball game. 1 for 7 so far in their start. Probably need to get the ball in Allen's hands a little bit.
Scott Kegler in for Barry Pierce for the Quakers.
Trying to post up Piatkowski.
Moore has got to keep an eye on Chubik. Chubik moves very well without the ball. Piatkowski, nice move. Stops, can't get the pop. Badgett. There's a Moore rebound.
Big rebound by Moore. Piatkowski made a great change off the pass on that catch.
Talk about a change. Good change of pace move by Allen.
He can get him out of the second half slump.
10 points for Jerome Allen. Averages 14. 50-39 Pennsylvania. Jamar Johnson at the point for Nebraska.
Against that 2-3 zone, Badgett has been pretty good at coming up to the middle, meeting the ball, so they have a passing outlet.
Johnson trying to draw the foul. Rebounded by Trice. This is Allen. Maloney. Piatkowski with the Maloney miss. 6 rebounds for Eric Piatkowski.
Chubik open inside.
Chubik moves so well without the ball. Can't get the roll. Strong rebound by Badgett. Blocked by Trice. And a kick. Fresh 35 will be put on the shot clock as Melvin Brooks comes in along with Tom Best, and they'll get action after this break.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the first round of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored by Mazda, Heineken, and by Pennzoil Motor Oil.
Pennsylvania holding to a 50-39 lead, and the game being enjoyed by some officials, major domos, if you will, of the NCAA. Dave Kaywood, Tom Butters, the outgoing chair of the men's basketball committee, and Jake Krauthamel,
Team already won a game. He's the athletic director at Syracuse University. First man ever drafted by the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, he has a win. Now Tom Butter sitting next to him, the AD at Duke University. He'll be wondering how his team made out. Both of those men obviously involved in the seeding process, strategically involved in that.
I know back during the days, I believe it was around the 1975 era when Dave Kaywood was trying to get scores of teams from around the country. He would get out in his car and drive around to where the signal was the strongest to get the scores to help with the selection process.
Boone doing a good job getting up on Allen, stopping that jump shot. That's a pretty good matchup defensively.
Nice pass inside the Piatkowski, scoring, and he's fouled.
Great
nice pass from Boone.
Yeah, great pass by Boone. He put a lot of mustard on that one. Piatkowski has great hands, makes this catch. You can see that ball was fired in there. And then goes up as Piatkowski has shown us he can score inside as well as out. Has not had an opportunity tonight, however, on the perimeter to get many open looks.
Scott Kegler sitting on the bench. He fouled Piatkowski from behind, giving Kegler 3. Piatkowski completes the three-point play.
Piatkowski's dad, a star at Bowling Green. Piatkowski, Mr. Basketball in South Dakota. Now, I'd like to know if there's ever been a better player out of South Dakota than Piatkowski. Not many of them around the country that you hear about.
Pat O'Brien will tell you he was. Strong rebound by Trice. Foul called before then.
Good job by Trice getting inside position. There's a case on that particular play. You should go ahead and forget about trying to get the rebound and get around on the other side. Piatkowski each year improving his stats. As I said, redshirted his freshman year along with Chubik. Used to have to sit and listen to a losing Nebraska team when they were on the road thinking that they could be helping, but I'm sure now they're happy that they sat out the year.
Good job defensively by Best. Maloney, a deep three and count it.
Second time tonight Maloney has hit one and been touched on the arm and still got it to go.
10 points for Matt Maloney. Brooks, nice long reverse layup by Mel Brooks. Brooks, 6'8" junior.
Nice job by Brooks coming across underneath the lane. Chowan Junior College transfer.
Allen for the three. Boy, was that poised. Looked him off. Saw the defender was out of bounds and calmly nailed the three. 56-46. Penn, 13 for Allen.
Nebraska playing much better in the second half, but they still can't narrow down.
0 for 11 from three-point range now for Nebraska. Boone, Strickland, Brooks, Piatkowski, and Best, the five in white for Nebraska. First three of the ball game comes at the 13:44 mark of the second half.
Strickland with great range. He's back on Allen again, so watch that matchup. Good help by Strickland.
Allen trying to split Strickland and Piatkowski, and is called on Strickland.
Well, there was a case on the switch. Allen felt that he had better foot speed than did Piatkowski. He beat him, but Strickland is so quick. He got back in there, but not in time. That's a serious foul problem because Strickland has come off big off the bench, both defensively and offensively, so that's his third.
7 points off the bench. He averages 10, he being Strickland. Jamar Johnson in, replacing Eric Piatkowski, who takes a breather. Three for Allen.
Two in a row, one from the left side, one from the right.
Add him up, 16 for Jerome Allen, averages 14 on the season. Boom, nice kiss.
We needed Billy Raftery here to explain that one, huh?
Absolutely. Well, he would have done it with a bit more emphasis and style, of course.
Good solid screen. Here's that.
Nice. Maloney to Moore.
Second time tonight, the twosome has done the pick and roll to perfection.
Moore is 7 points over his season's average. He's got 15. Boom for three. Rebounded by Pierce.
Seeing a little weariness coming from Strickland right now. Pierce. Terrific offensive show by Penn. The not wanting to stop him with the timeouts, trying to do it with substitutes. But Penn is just so fresh. Strickland, nothing there.
Rebounded by Maloney.
Great job by Maloney to get to the center of the court, try to open up a passing lane. Nothing there.
Nice pass, making a pass.
Then he's got to go timeout.
Tim Krug from Jerome Allen. And it goes back to Pennsylvania. You're right. Well, Penn has been on a spurt all game, Billy. 9-2 in the last 142. Doing it from outside the three-point lane. And Barry Pierce having himself one whale of a ball game. 19 points, and he averages 13.
Well, when you look at the starters for Penn, you can't fault any of them. Every guy has had a solid contribution in this game.
Well, Center City, Philadelphia closed down early today to allow the CPAs and attorneys to come up here and support this squad, and they are enthusiastic in the crowd here at the Nassau Coliseum. Billy, if he had slammed that one behind his head.
That's exactly right, David. That was the only play he had, was an over-the-head dunk.
We've got nothing left on that one. Nice pass. Allen foul. Nice pass coming from Tim Krug.
Smart play by Allen. He sacrificed making the shot in order to draw the foul. Now, not many players are smart enough to do that. You know, he knew he had no angle for the shot, but he knew if he changed it around in the air a little bit, he could draw the foul. Nice play.
Two-time Ivy Player of the Year. And when the game is on the line, the reputation he has is he likes to take over.
He started doing that from the get-go tonight.
Absolutely.
As far as he was concerned, this game was on the line when he played the Star-Spangled Banner.
He may have heard about the overconfident attitude of some of the Nebraska followers who said, hey, we haven't seen any better guards in the country than exist in the Big Eight. Well, they may have to amend that statement.
Krug getting right out on Badger.
Boom, in the paint. Nice move.
Great move. He caught it and was on the move as he caught the ball. That exploded right by the defender.
And a good quick pass coming from Jamar Johnson. 66-53 Quakers. And a foul on Strickland.
That's his fourth.
Yep. You know what, Billy, you mentioned before how he really has taken it, he being Strickland, personal, the competitive battle between he and Allen. Pennsylvania on top 66-53. The number 11 seed right now on top of the 6th seed Nebraska. And it stays at this end, Pennsylvania ball. The Quakers have done it from three-point land and have done it inside and out.
You see Pierce going for the ball. Boone felt that it hit Pierce on the way out. It might have. There he goes again.
Strip, Chubik, ahead to Allen. Nice touch pass to Maloney. Blocked by Chubik. Great play by Chubik.
Johnson has been so quiet today. He was the guy that led this team to the Big 8 championship. Had a great game against Oklahoma State, but tonight Johnson really hasn't gotten it going.
0 for 3, as a matter of fact. And Jerome Allen signaling to Fran Dunphy on the bench, give me a break. 9:59 left in the ball game. 68-53 Quakers.
Johnson was 8 for 10 against Oklahoma State, 19 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, but he's been very quiet against these Penn guards tonight.
The Quakers went undefeated in Ivy League play. Strickland rebounds the miss of Krug, and Allen fouls him. Here in the East, afternoon action saw Connecticut win by 18 over Ryder. It was George Washington getting by UAB by 5. They've advanced the evening sessions right now. Nebraska losing to Pennsylvania. Florida and James Madison yet to come.
Maloney thought that they had all ball on that. Johnson made a good power move by him.
Well, Billy, not too difficult to understand how this Pennsylvania team beat Washington earlier and Georgia. And of course, as you mentioned, only 2 losses on the season, 24-2 overall. This is Jamar Johnson, 0 for 3 from the floor, yet to score.
You know, we talk about Nebraska and coming down off that emotional high. They were talking about driving back from Kansas City to Lincoln after winning that championship. Stopped at a fast food restaurant just to get something to eat. The whole town descended on them. And some little kid came out and said, "Hey, you draw Penn." And that was the first that Danny Nee knew about it, that they had drawn Penn for the NCAA tournament. But the kid didn't give a scouting report for that. I mean,
I was about to say, I would like to have known what the reaction was by Danny Nee. Kegler for 3.
That's his specialty.
45% on the season from that range. Blocked from behind. Badgett was going in for the one-handed slam.
Tim Krug, he's the leading shot blocker on the club with 25 blocks, and look at how he hustled. Again, fresh legs for Penn. Went way up and got a piece of that. Badgett almost hit the backboard.
Krug was not about to be embarrassed. Moore takes a seat. Andy Barada in for him. And Jerome Allen has had his breather, so he's back into the lineup, replacing Matt Maloney, an outstanding point guard.
Yeah, I like what's happening in the substitution pattern right here now. He gave Allen a little rest. Now he gave Maloney a little rest. You look up at the clock, it's 9:12. Probably keep him out to the 7-minute mark. And then what can happen is they can go back with 2 fresh guards to go down the last 7 minutes of this game. Smart coach.
Good rebound by Kegler. Jerome Allen, Scott Kegler.
1-3-1 trap by Nebraska. Danny Nee has tried a little bit of everything, and Penn has met the challenge each time.
Barada can't get the roll.
Oh, nice catch by Barrett. He didn't know that it was coming.
And Badgett draws the foul as Tim Krug can't stay with him.
But Badgett did a heck of a job there catching that ball, JB. He was on the fly. Yeah, there you see College of Charleston losing to Wake Forest tonight, so they're out of there. But let's put them out of there in glory. I mean, a terrific job on their part.
Absolutely. Amen on that one. Badgett had a strong first half, 9 points in the first half on 4 of 6 from the floor. He's got a grand total of 1 point here in the second half, and it's a 71-56 Quakers lead. Danny Nee trying to exhort his troops on.
You see Chubik showing a little bit of tired legs right now. Couldn't get up on that.
And Kegler continues to nail them from the outside, a 3-pointer.
JB shoots 46% from 3.
Just didn't shoot enough, Billy, on the season to qualify as the national leader.
Exactly. That gives him 35 for 75 on the year. He hit, you know, he missed those 2 early on tonight. He had 2 wide open looks, which is very unusual for him.
And Kegler's number is even more impressive when you take a look at what he's done before. He's got 9 points. None of them are of the 2-point variety.
Yeah, he's spotting up there. His team's smart. They know how to get him the ball in the right place.
Piatkowski short.
Thought he got fouled on the arm. No call. See a little frustration setting in right now for Nebraska. I mean, they have to make a big run here in the next 2-3 minutes.
With the emphasis on run as well, Billy. Piatkowski off the mark, rebounded by Allen. Nebraska averages 87 points a game on the season. Right now, locked in at 56 with 8:08 left in the game.
Well, in the Big 8 tournament, Piatkowski, of course, had that 42-point game against Oklahoma. Then another 20-plus point game, and then slowed down in the final. He's frustrated right now.
Johnson Ahead to Piatkowski. Now that's what Piatkowski does best, motoring.
Ran the break, filled the lane. Remember in the first half, they couldn't get anything to work on the fast break. They had plenty of attempts, just weren't getting it to work.
15 points for Piatkowski. Only the 7th fast break point of the evening for Nebraska. Nice follow by Pierce. Pierce continuing to drop in 21 points, 8 above his season's average.
Giving up a couple inches playing in that forward spot, but he really has a nose for the ball, knows how to slice on in there for those offensive boards. 7 rebounds.
That's right, hasn't hurt him at all.
Yep.
Johnson, nice penetration. Tough shot.
Terrific play.
Jamar Johnson averages 11 on the season, and that's his first field goal. He's got 4 points.
Johnson played in that memorable, historic game between Damon Bailey and his club in the state championship in Indiana. 41,000 people in the Hoosier Dome. Bailey, of course, the legend grew as they won the Indiana State Championship. And he was runner-up to Bailey for Indiana Mr. Basketball. Yep.
High school teammate, of course, is now doing quite well in the NBA, Sean Kemp. Allen is fouled, attempting a 3 by Jamar Johnson. 3 free throw attempts coming up for Jerome Allen.
I think Johnson was shocked that he put the ball. I think he lost concentration that the time was running out. There was 1 second left when he put that shot up. Obviously a desperation shot, and he's kind of shocked, Johnson, with the play.
Boone and Chubik taking a seat. Strickland back in. Best is in.
Danny Nee bending over his players there, brought Nebraska to the NCAA in '91, lost to Xavier in the opening round, '92 to Connecticut, last year to New Mexico State. So this is a 4 straight trip. And right now, his #1 opponent is not the Penn Quakers, but it's the clock. Time running out.
The Penn players shooting better than their average, and you can tell Jerome Allen is tired. The Penn followers certainly know this guy, an 81% free throw shooter, and he's missed the first 2.
Well, maybe he ought to shift over his backcourt teammate will only shoot 94%.
1 of 3, and it's a 77-60 Quaker lead.
NCAA Basketball Championship on CBS.
Still to come in NCAA tournament action, the games you see listed: Wisconsin against Cincinnati, Alabama and Providence, Western Kentucky against Texas, and the next game on the slate here, James Madison and Florida. And these guys from Nebraska have to be in just a little shock. And if you look at those numbers right there, that says it. 15 from 3-point range, and can get the easy roll. Nice job by Tom Best keeping the ball alive.
Notice that Penn State basically with that 2-3 zone the second half.
A 3. Only the second 3 of the evening for Nebraska. 77-63.
You can see Matt Maloney now saying we'll take a little bit of time off the clock each time down.
And this is where the Pete Carril type system really frustrates you, Billy, when you try to play catch up.
Sure.
And they make you pay because they play so smart. Best with the rebound.
Allen's sitting down, getting a little rest right now. Johnson's starting to come back strong.
Nice move by Johnson. Cuts the Penn lead to 12 with 5:20 left. Johnson with 9.
Now, if Nebraska could get it down under 10, you know, a great psychological boost. They haven't done much from the 3-point line. We know they're dangerous out there.
Pennsylvania protects the ball well, has not turned it over in the last 14 minutes. Only 1 turnover this half.
There's where that 5-second closely guarded rule.
How about that?
Big change in college basketball this year. Piatkowski did a good job defensively, gains nothing.
Especially with a ball handler like Maloney, who dishes off to Moxley, who bangs home the shot. A 2-point shot.
Boy, you play good D for 25 seconds, and then it costs you.
Piatkowski. Maloney with the rebound. 5 rebounds to go along with 9 assists for Matt Maloney.
And he walks it up the court.
Travel.
He needs his running mate back in there. They're putting so much pressure on him with the ball on the dribble. Here comes Allen back in.
Second turnover only for Pennsylvania in this half. You're right, he does need that backcourt lead, and there's Jerome Allen.
Yeah, you put the ball in your hands so much that the other team knows it. They get ready to double team, you know, not looking to give it up because they're trying to use the clock a little bit on each possession.
Strickland. Rebounded strong that time by Crew.
And gives it back. And now here's that pressure off Maloney. Allen back in the game. Takes advantage of a solid screen. Remember, Strickland has 4 fouls on him. But at this point, he can't worry about it. He's still going to have to play Allen tough.
The Penn players were anxious to play this game in these uniforms, Billy, because they haven't lost a game all season in the Cardinal red. Maloney. Strong rebound by Brooks. Ahead to Piatkowski.
Well, they just can't get any open threes. There's one, but Johnson can't hit it.
Pierce, nice move by Pierce. Two-man basketball, Allen back to Pierce. 23 for Pierce.
Pierce just doesn't make mistakes, you know. Smart basketball player. Just doesn't try to play beyond himself.
And a three, the third three of the evening for Nebraska. You talked about Pierce being a very smart ball player, and Billy, in the man-to-man defense, he's been the guy principally on Piatkowski.
Now, you know, now they put Pierce out here. Piatkowski's got to chase him. He's tired. Gives Allen a chance to break free without the ball.
Crew inside and out. That a three. 7 for Crew.
Well, he shoots 42% from 3. Primarily a big man. He almost shoots as good from 3 as he does from the foul line. Working hard in there is Piatkowski.
An effort basket on the part of Piatkowski.
The MVP of the Big 8 tournament. All-conference first team. Certainly one of the great winners in Nebraska basketball history.
Boone, Chubik, and Badgett back into the lineup for Nebraska. Piatkowski, 17 points, 7 rebounds on the evening, make it 18. Timeout on the floor with 2:28 left. Nebraska trailing the Quakers. Big.
JB, Eric Strickland doesn't get there in time. Pierce, who's had a phenomenal game, beats him to the spot. Over to Allen. Hey, Fenn, right back to you. Pierce puts it away. Terrific night by the senior, and the only senior in the starting lineup for this explosive Ivy League club. He's 10 for 14 tonight, 23 points, 8 rebounds. Moore on a foul.
Foul's going to be called on Moore. Danny Nee's squad meeting Pennsylvania for the first time ever. And the Huskers had been 7-0 all time against members of the Ivy League. I say had been because if this holds up for the next 2:19, Pennsylvania will come away victorious over the number 6 seed.
And to say something about the way Danny Nee has built that program, they're 20-9 this year going into tonight's game. It's the first time in the history of Nebraska basketball that they've won 20 games in a row, back-to-back.
And the only coach in Nebraska history to coach 3 20-game winners and take 3 teams to the NCAA tournament. 2:19 remaining. 84-73, Penn.
Tough team to press with these 3 guards out here.
So poised, Billy. Moore. Blocked, but fouled. Badgett hammered Moore. Will take a trip to the free throw line.
Moore set the stage early in this game. Remember that banked in 3. And how many times, JV, do you see when a big guy hits a banking 3, how many times does that set the stage for, you know, if you're sitting on that other team's bench, you say, oh my goodness, this might not be our night. And it turned out not to be.
How about
Nebraska.
that?
Yep.
Only only a 57% free throw shooter. We took a look at Fran Dunphy there, and there's a guy who really understands the game very, very well.
Well, he coached under Speedy Morris as an assistant at LaSalle. Speedy's certainly one of the top minds in the game.
Off the back of the iron, gets his own rebound, and a fresh 35. And guess what? Penn will be smart and burn as much time off the clock.
There we saw the missed free throw again captured, as we did in the GW game. That really cost UAB. They had the right man on the line, but couldn't get a rebound.
Third turnover of the second half for the Quakers.
Gotta think threes.
Johnson had it partially blocked. Moore ahead to Krug. 6 rebounds for Eric Moore.
Oklahoma has to think fouling and threes.
Nebraska, yep. If they can get to him, nice pass as Krug scores for Pennsylvania. 86-73. Pennsylvania on top of Nebraska.
Well, they're driving in the lane, JB. At this point in time, the only chance they have are 3-point shots. And the pro Ivy League crowd really enjoying what this team has done here tonight.
Piatkowski. Foul from behind. Barry Pierce doesn't agree.
Much like Allen, only a bigger man, Piatkowski can really explode on that dribble. Talented player.
Billy, this is an impressive Pennsylvania squad.
Eric Piatkowski is the line for 2.
Second offering. Drops.
There is 1 minute remaining.
That's Tom Best, not Dolph Lundgren, the actor. But I'm telling you, he could be a stand-in easily.
Well, he was in the Rocky movie, but tonight, Rocky from Philadelphia has been
Absolutely.
Penn.
I imagine a few fans will be running up the stairs in Philadelphia.
Tough job to ask Piatkowski to stick with Allen. He's so quick. Young man very disappointed, but he's had a brilliant career at Nebraska. Took part in 4 NCAA tournament games. Was 1 for 12 his first year against Connecticut in a loss. 3 for 10 at Xavier in a loss. 10 for 14 last year, 29 points against New Mexico. Has played well tonight, but not enough.
My goodness, boy, is Chubik some kind of leaper. What a great effort. As Maloney is fouled by Boone with 31.8 seconds remaining, and the Quakers holding to a 10-point lead over the 6th seed Nebraska.
Danny wondering, what is it going to take to get that first NCAA tournament win? Tonight we saw Wake Forest, Dave Odom, who's gone to 4 straight NCAA tournaments with the Wake Forest team, with his first NCAA tournament win. But that monkey off his back.
Well, Fran Dunphy
With his
stamping the
first.
season that he's had.
That's right, this is his first. But I think he thinks this club can advance.
As a matter of fact, I know he feels that way. And the hustle continues down the stretch by Jerome Allen. The backcourt of Maloney and Allen combined for 18 assists and only 4 turnovers. That's excellent protection of the ball and distribution of the ball. Piatkowski dropping in his 21st point to match his season's average.
Here comes Pierce.
Allen back to Pierce. Too sweet.
Well, we've seen that before.
25 for Pierce. 12 above his season's average. As Piatkowski drops in his 23rd. Here's a holder. And the Quakers of the Ivy League advance. The number 11 seed upends Nebraska, and first-round frustrations for the Huskers continue. So this is what it looks like in this half of the East. Connecticut and George Washington have already advanced. Pennsylvania now awaits the winner of the next game, Florida and James Mason. The Chevrolet players of the game, Barry Pierce from Pennsylvania and Eric Piatkowski from Nebraska. 10-point win by Penn. We take you to New York City. Jim Nance and Clark Kellogg.
All right, JB, so a 6 and a 7 knocked out of the East already today. A 5 out west, Cal knocked out of the tournament. But we're going to move you to the...
Chubik and Eric Piatkowski. We will start off as we have been all day with questions for the players. Then we're going to let them go back to the locker room, and then you can ask questions to Coach Nee. So let's start off with some questions for the players. Right here, Bob.
Eric, could you talk about playing against the Penn defense and how that hurt you, especially early in the game?
Actually, I'm going to give Penn all the credit in the world. They played a fantastic game, but, what it comes down to is we just couldn't knock down our outside shot tonight, and they did a phenomenal job. They hit a lot of threes. They found the open man and hit them, and it took us till probably a couple minutes left in the game before we could knock one down. So I give them a lot of credit.
Right here in front.